Okay, guys, we're going to carry on. Let me just get it up here. So, guys, there's a part one to this. I found this YouTube channel. Toddy, everybody has a story to tell. She's doing a review of Priscilla Presley and her wrongdoing. I personally think that that Priscilla, this is my opinion, of course, has conned the world. Priscilla has conned the world into thinking that she is the reason Elvis is remembered. It's bullshit, guys. It is bullshit. Right, let me just okay, right. So it's all right. So we've just done a part one and I've pushed it over to part two. Okay, guys? Because I find that if these videos go on too long, people don't watch them. So are we on part two? Yes. Here we go. Right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm in a bit of a rush, so I'm just going to keep going. Okay.
If Lisa really felt like her mom was stealing money from her, that has got to be a horrible, horrible feeling. To feel like, because I think that she was getting paid for her position in the company for what she was doing. So if she was taking money beyond that, in fact, she was stealing from her kid and her grandkids. And if that was true and that can be proven, that's horrific. But if Lisa honestly felt that, that's even worse.
See this, I stumbled on this YouTube channel. She seems great, Toddy. She's very wise, very wise. She's right what she's saying. Lisa trusted Priscilla. She trusted Barry Siegel. In the end, they both ripped her off. Can it be proved? I don't know. I know that Lisa sued Barry Siegel. I think he tried to counter sue. They settled. He's gone away now, but he did remain friends with Priscilla, which he should not have done because he ripped off her daughter. I also have heard they were paying themselves a massive wage, 900 grand a year for Priscilla, 500 grand a year for Barry Siegel. I also heard that a fortune was wasted with American Idol. Lisa's money was completely squandered and wasted, almost bankrupting poor Lisa Marie. These people probably screwed over Lisa. I think it was around 2015. Some say that this is why Lisa moved to England. Some say this is why Priscilla and Lisa didn't talk for 8 years. I don't think Lisa knew that Barry Siegel had stayed friends with Priscilla. Barry Siegel allegedly did the deal for the Priscilla film with Sofia Coppola. So, as far as I know, Priscilla is still friends with Barry Siegel now as we speak. Remember, Barry Siegel ripped off Lisa Marie, Priscilla's daughter, and Priscilla stayed friends with Barry Siegel. I've also heard Priscilla has stayed friends through a lawsuit concerning Michael Lockwood. There's some stuff here, guys, that none of it makes sense. I am hearing a few reports now concerning Riley Keough. Now, for some reason, Riley Keough there is showing a bit of support. She's liked a video that so yesterday Priscilla is doing the rounds, promoting her book, telling more lies, promoting her book, Softly as I Leave You. Just so you know, everything I say on this show is for entertainment purposes only, just a discussion channel where we share opinions. Nothing I say is fact. We are just an entertainment show. But Riley Keough does seem to be showing a bit of support for her grandmother. Now, this is very awkward. I've had a discussion with a few people today, and in fact, over the last week, a few people have been saying to me about Riley showing support for Priscilla, and obviously people are worried, people are concerned. My number one answer is this. It's her grandmother. It's blood. We see it as fans. So we look at Riley supporting Priscilla and obviously the horrific allegations. Also trashing. Priscilla has been trashing Elvis indirectly in a very clever way. for 40 years. Let's face it, guys. This book makes you think Elvis is the bad guy and makes Priscilla look like a poor victim that wanted to find herself, that was a prisoner in Graceland, that was controlled and groomed. It's all bullshit. The book Softly as I Leave You is basically saying the same things. I think the book Softly as I Leave You just attacks people and tries to reinforce Priscilla's fake fairy tale, but not just that. Priscilla tries to undo the damage of this book, From Here to the Great Unknown, Lisa's book that was written by Riley. Yeah, that's part of the reason she wrote the book. The reason Priscilla has brought out the book Softly as I Leave You is to counteract this book. It's so obvious. Yeah, I don't think Priscilla would have written a book if it wasn't for this. I think she would have put it off maybe years later. Get it, guys? So now Priscilla is hell-bent on her book becoming successful. She's running the rounds. She's doing all these different news interviews, CNN, ABC, all stuff like that, yeah? She's trying to remind the world that she saved Elvis. She was a great mother. She did nothing wrong. Elvis was difficult and unfaithful and had a drug problem, and she caught him. She found his love letters and all that crap. Priscilla's doing the whole trash Elvis. Oh, what? She trashes Elvis, but then she tells the world she still loves him. She wants to be buried by him. Does anyone fall for it? That Elvis is still the love of her life. She even said it yesterday. It's just all bullshit, guys. It's total crap. She was with Marco Garibaldi for over 20 years and had his son. She worships her son, of course. She was a terrible mother to Lisa Marie, sending her off to Scientology. Scientology is a brainwashing cult, in my opinion. But she proudly, only days ago, says, oh, Scientology was good. Scientology was good, even though we know that Elvis was completely against Scientology and thought they were a bunch of wackos. Elvis wanted nothing to do with Scientology. Get it, guys? So there's a massive con at play here, a massive trickery of the public around the world, or allowing Priscilla to be the spokesperson for Elvis. Why is Priscilla the spokesperson for Elvis? Who gave her that role? She divorced him 4 years before he died. She was unfaithful at least twice. She completely ripped him off in the divorce settlements and even placed the debt on Graceland, Elvis's homes. So why is Priscilla, who has badly treated her ex-husband, badly treated her own daughter, ripped off money from her own grandchildren? There's these horrific allegations from Bridget Cruz concerning Priscilla's wrongdoing. Yeah, in many ways, not just with the unplugging, the DNR, not just that, also with the selling off of Elvis Presley Enterprises. It's coming out now, there could have been something wrong, some kind of fraudulent behavior, backhanders, allegedly. Priscilla allegedly got a lot of money when the deal went through for selling 85% of Elvis Presley Enterprises, for selling her name, image, and likeness. So basically, the name Presley, the name Gracelands, which allegedly she resold again to Bridget Cruz in another deal only a few years ago. And we now know that Priscilla has completely changed her mind about the deal with Bridget Cruz, the auctioneer. Literally just changed her mind. Yeah. She signed her life away, then changed her mind. We also know that the general treatment of Lisa Marie, her daughter, has been atrocious for decades. Priscilla has always put herself first. Money, fame, men, sex, stardom, and has always put Lisa Marie last. That stands out to me. And she's doing it all again. She's lost her daughter. There's no sign of grieving. She's running around the world with a big smile on her face, trying to promote her book, doing these shows, these question and answer shows around the world. There's one in Bristol on the 4th of October coming up soon. I've got a ticket for it. Okay? I don't know if I'm going to go. I haven't made up my mind. But my point is, guys, she's doing it all again. What Priscilla did in 1985 with this book because she went around the world promoting this book. We know that she was on quite a few shows, one of them the Terry Wogan show in the UK. She's running around now doing it all again with the book Softly As I Leave You. As far as I can tell, the book Softly As I Leave You is a pack of lies. Another fake fairy tale. The book Softly As I Leave You is hell-bent on trashing people, including her own daughter and Elvis and Michael Jackson and many other things. She's up to her old games again. She's doing what she did in 1985 all over again. And the TV media are allowing her to do it. The TV media are like, yeah, Priscilla is the spokeswoman of Elvis. What is that? Why is Priscilla given the mantle of presenting Elvis? Why? Why do all these TV news companies go, okay, Priscilla, everything you say is right. She was his ex. She divorced him 4 years before he died. Then she went on to have these very long relationships with other men. But she is given this mantle that she represents Elvis. She's the spokesperson for Elvis. Why? Now, this is why Donna Presley today, she was so infuriated with what Priscilla has got away with. She wanted to do a video on her channel, Donna Presley Official. Please subscribe to it. Please go there. Go and watch it. It's 5 minutes and there's more to come. Donna Presley has got more videos coming. She's told me. The next video, I think, is concerning Gracelands. There's another video concerning the name Presley. Donna Presley is going to expose Priscilla. Now, Donna Presley doesn't name people. She always says, you know, I don't want to fall out with people. I don't want any drama. But she will defend Elvis. She will defend Elvis. So when she listens to Priscilla telling lies, it upsets her. Priscilla makes Elvis out to be a drug addict. He was not a drug addict. He was on prescription medication. He was a very sick man. Donna Presley says that, yes, they were taking sleeping pills and uppers, but that was very normal in the 1950s. Standard issue in the army was uppers. You could buy uppers and sleeping tablets in the petrol station, in the gas station in those days, in the 50s and 60s. There was nothing unusual about uppers and sleeping tablets. Elvis had the worst insomnia. But Priscilla will portray him as an addict. Priscilla will portray Elvis as if he's a shagaholic, shagging everything, when she was shagging everything. You get it? They were both unfaithful. She shouldn't be the spokesperson for Elvis. She divorced him. The Presley family want to speak on behalf of Elvis. Donna Presley wants to speak on behalf of her cousin, her first cousin. Donna Presley wants to speak on behalf of Aunt Delta, her Minnie May, her mother Nash, Vernon, Patsy Presley. Do you get it? She was with them. Donna Presley grew up with the Presleys. It was her home. Circle G Ranch was her home. Graceland was her home. She visited Graceland most days for a long part of her life, well into the 80s, because her parents still lived there till 1982. Donna Presley's parents lived at Graceland till 1982. Now, Donna Presley also lived there, but she did get married and have a different home, but she would still most days visit Minnie May, her mum, as well. And the other people, the other Presleys, she was very close with Vernon. She worked with Vernon in the office. Vernon would regularly tell Donna Presley that he felt there was foul play with the death of his son Elvis. So why is Priscilla the spokesperson for Elvis? Why do the media around the world allow Priscilla to be the front person for Elvis? Why? It doesn't make sense. Why does Priscilla keep saying Elvis is the love of my life when she's been shagging other men for decades? Why does Priscilla want to be buried next to her ex-husband? Who gets buried next to their ex-husband? It's unheard of. No one gets buried next to their ex-husband. It's all madness. All of it is nuts. There is no way Priscilla should be the spokesperson for Elvis. No way.
So what does she end up doing according to this complaint? They say Lisa Marie amended the trust, remember, revocable trust, and made herself trustee, and she ended up listing her son Ben and daughter Riley, famous actress, you've probably seen her in a bunch of things, as successor trustees.
So she took that shit right out of her mama's hands.
Now, there's a little bit more background information, a little bit more
Good way of putting it.
detail. I'm not going to get into all that. It gets a little complicated, but there is an allegation that Priscilla burned through the money that she received.
She did. Her and Barry Siegel, they blew it with American Idol.
Meaning the $6.5 million. And how by 2021, she was, quote, financially destitute.
That's a lot of money to burn through, Priscilla. What'd you do with that money? We know that she's addicted to cosmetic surgery. Unfortunately, you could look at her and see that. She's all plastic, man. All plastic.
That she owed nearly
No comment, no comment.
$700,000 to the IRS.
To the tax man. Yay!
We don't know this for sure. Again, this is going to come out during the course of the litigation if it advances.
I'm not here to shame anybody, but that doesn't look normal or natural or anything. It looks like a doll's face. A doll's face that's been dropped a few times. I'm sorry, Priscilla.
But with all of that
I never said that. I never said that.
background, now we finally get to the plaintiffs, Keough and Fialco. Remember, who are they? How is their connection here? So, they claim that Priscilla approached them. And she approached them to help her with her finances. The strategy was, and this is what it says, that they would, quote, work to exploit her name, image, and likeness, NIL, that Keough Fialco deployed IP, know-how, and creative marketing to enhance Priscilla's brand.
When you're desperate, you see what happens when you're desperate? Because wait till you see what happens.
See, do you know, this has never made any sense to me. I have no idea why Bridget didn't check that the name had already been sold, but let's keep going.
Priscilla licensed her IP rights to a company that was set up by the plaintiffs that would manage all this, that would manage her IP rights, her name, image, and likeness, in order to accomplish this goal of helping her finances, to build up her brand. And then it was also sub-licensed to these other companies. Gets a bit tricky, but you understand. It gets a bit technical, but you get the idea.
There's a lot of money involved, and Priscilla sold her soul. That's what happened.
And here's the key. They claim that Priscilla promised a few things in exchange. That she wouldn't compete with this strategy of exploiting her IP rights, that she would reveal to the plaintiffs other business opportunities that came along. The problem is, they claim, the plaintiffs,
Drum roll, please.
Priscilla never told them that she actually sold her IP rights already, her name, image, and likeness, years before in 2005 to the company I mentioned before, Authentic Brands Group, that big licensing company.
So Joe Weishanker's group, yeah?
You can't do that, Priscilla Presley. You can't do that.
You know who would be an important witness at a potential trial? Riley. Why? Listen to this.
Now, Riley was Lisa Marie's oldest daughter, Riley Keough. She's an actress, right? You guys know her. So that's Priscilla's granddaughter. So, you know, Priscilla, when you're fucking with your kid, you're fucking with her kids too, you know that.
I don't swear on my program. Toddy, no swearing, but it's true.
Is that right?
Quote, when Keough and Fialco learned about this prior deal, Priscilla repeatedly denied it until Priscilla's granddaughter, Riley Keough, shared the deal with Keough and Fialco.
I wonder if that was by accident or intentional or if it's even true.
Right, you guys keep asking about the name of the channel. It is Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddy. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddy. Okay, guys?
Again, don't know if that's true, but Riley would probably be an important witness at an upcoming trial, or at least a deposition, right? Now, Keough and Fialco allege, unbeknownst to them, this happened. And yet, at the same time, they're working incredibly hard to build up the value of Priscilla's brand.
Yeah, so they want to get paid because they're laying out money.
So I just wanted to mention something about Riley because Frederick's with us. Frederick, someone messaged me today. You know that Priscilla did the short interview, the 6-minute TV news interview. Riley has liked that and followed that TV interview. Riley has liked and followed it. So it does seem like Riley is showing support for Priscilla. I do think it's something we're going to have to discuss, guys. It's concerned a few people, but I also want to reiterate, I will always support Riley. She is Lisa's daughter. She is Elvis's granddaughter. So if we discuss it, I will not go against Riley, no matter what anybody says. Yeah. If she makes mistakes, we have to understand that Nona is family. Nona is family. We are fans. We're very upset with Priscilla. It's different for Riley. Even if she gets upset, of course Riley is upset with Priscilla. Of course, we know that. Yeah, we've heard the email. But she's still Nona. She's still Gran. She's still the great grand of her kids. Her mother is dead, God rest her soul. So from a blood relative point of view, Priscilla is important to Riley. We have to get that in our heads. I won't allow it to be used as an excuse to turn on Riley. If Riley does things we don't agree with, that doesn't mean we're going to turn on her. We have to remember she's family. Remember she's human. She can make mistakes. I just want to make that clear, yeah?
Wow, Priscilla, if this is true, that's fraud, right?
They claim they acted in PR functions, they drafted public statements for her, they were trying to grow her image and brand, that they were doing all of this at the expense of their own businesses, their other businesses. And they claim they invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into Priscilla.
So Frederick says, I think Riley made peace in the family and going to have to deal with it. Yeah, okay. But, you know, it's a changing... This is a very fluid situation, Rick. Yeah. So I'm sure they have good days, bad days, good days, bad days, like all families. All families, guys. You know, come on, we've all had serious problems within our families. But in the end, you try and make up because it's family, it's blood.
Even with all that plastic surgery that she paid for on her own dime? Wow. Wow.
Now, let's talk about the Elvis movie. Did you see it? Remember that came out a few years ago, starred Austin Butler, huge hit. Well, I am just going to read.
Well, Pat, it's not as simple as that. Pat has just said, I'm sure Riley will make her mum proud and do the right thing. It's not as simple as that. Because she's showing support for Priscilla on these news interviews in America, yeah? So, well, Lisa ain't going to be happy about that. I keep saying it. We can't see things as fans in the same way as a family member. I had this discussion this morning. She's family. She's between a rock and a hard place. We're not family. We're outsiders. Yeah, we're just fans. So we can be very upset with Priscilla and get angry. You get it? With Riley, yes, she can be upset. She can get angry, but then it's family. So she has to calm down and try and fix things. So how Riley reacts to all these things that are happening, what has gone on in the past, what is still happening now, you know, with Bridget Cruz's the lawsuit, things like that. You know, the wrongdoing of Priscilla concerning the amendment to the trust, stuff like that. With Riley, it doesn't matter how angry she gets. We've heard the email that was loads of people have read out. Eventually, she calms down and she tries to make the peace because it's her it's her kid's grandmother. So, Pat, it isn't straightforward for Riley. It's very difficult for Riley. With fans, it's easy. We can either love her or not like her, can't we? We can love her or hate her. We, the fans, have that choice. Riley doesn't. She doesn't. She's family.
Read you verbatim from this complaint about the movie, and then it leads into Lisa Marie's death.
So, Emily says, Louis, maybe Lisa didn't want Riley to go against her mother. Yeah. That's a bloody good point. I would say that I'm just guessing that Lisa wants Riley to do the right thing. Lisa wants Riley to do what's right. Yeah. It's like me, I'm defending Elvis. Yeah. Elvis would want to be defended, but he'd want me to do it in a kind way. Lisa would want Riley to defend her mother, but in a kind way. She'd want them to make up after, to forgive. That's my point.
So this This is really important. If this is true, this
Yeah, like Jamie has just said, Riley also said she was a peacemaker between Lisa and Priscilla. Yeah, we know. It was all read out in black and white. I agree. And she still is. She still is.
This is really despicable.
Okay, it says, Lisa and Priscilla were each planning to attend the 2023 Golden Globes on January 10th, 2023 in support of Elvis. But Lisa had no desire to see or otherwise be near Priscilla. Lisa had been in a long-running dispute with Siegel, and she resented that Priscilla stayed with Siegel.
So guys, there's no loyalty, it seems, on Priscilla's part at all, to be honest with you. I think that Elvis thought and believed Lisa was the apple of his eye. Could it be possible that Priscilla was jealous of her own daughter? Yes, absolutely so.
Oh, come on, guys. I've always thought Priscilla was very jealous of Lisa. Honestly, I've always thought it. Don't forget, Lisa became a stunning, beautiful young lady. And it doesn't surprise me that Michael Edwards, you know, well, actually, it does surprise me. It's shocking. But do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Lisa eventually becomes a very beautiful young woman, doesn't she? I completely see that as Lisa became a woman, the men that Priscilla liked started to like Lisa. To get it, Lisa had it all. She had the personality, she had the charm. Don't forget, Priscilla has also tried to say that it was because of Lisa that Michael Edwards acted the way he did. She says it, doesn't she? Yeah? So even there, you're seeing hints of jealousy. Even jealous of her when she was very young. Elvis adored Lisa. Everyone knows that Elvis absolutely adored his daughter. Priscilla seemed jealous. She seemed jealous, guys. Honestly, it does seem that way.
Absolutely so. But you would think after all that time, maybe they'd work it out. But Scientology did not help that situation at all. That I know. Because if you get into the Scientology thing and you hear all of that with Lisa Marie and with Priscilla, yeah, that did not help that situation at all.
So Debbie says, I think she was jealous from the moment she was born. It's possible, guys. It's possible. There's definitely something very wrong between Priscilla and Lisa. 100%.
That fractured that relationship horribly.
Further betraying her trust.
There we are. Sandra hi, Sandra. I just read where Priscilla dedicated her book to everyone except Riley and the twins. Is this true? She named her son, her grandson, Lisa, and her mother. I don't know. Possible. No, but in England, we haven't had the book yet.
Crucially, Priscilla was aware that Lisa was getting ready to remove her as the sole trustee of Lisa's irrevocable life insurance trust and was otherwise threatening to sue her. Keough and Fialco, nevertheless, worked to keep the family together.
Seemed like Lisa had enough of her mom, huh?
Definitely.
Working with Priscilla's publicist and arranging for Lisa and Priscilla to walk the red carpet together and sit next to one another at the event.
That was the Elvis premiere.
Lisa was noticeably
Yeah, come on. We all know that Lisa didn't want to sit with Priscilla.
ill, complaining to Priscilla about her health. Priscilla ignored the warning signs despite being only a short drive from the world-renowned Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Instead, Priscilla clasped to the spotlight.
Let me just read this out that Frederick has just said. I actually think Priscilla did leave Scientology when they had the big family meeting at Paul and Ann Bueller's home. Yeah, so we've heard about this meeting, haven't we, guys? In 2014, she says she wanted freedom, i.e. give no more money and time to them. Yeah, and Priscilla said it the other day, didn't she, guys? Okay, I mean, obviously we're gonna have the book, but even we have to be careful because we can't read it because of copyright rules. So it isn't straightforward, is it, guys?
Going out to the Chateau Marmont for drinks with Lisa, and then sent Lisa on a long drive to her Calabasas home.
Now this, my friends, is just speculation. This,
So this is what Frederick just said. Priscilla is too big a cow to take on Scientology. Definitely. Scientology is massive.
She ignored Lisa's illnesses. Lisa, if she wanted to go to the hospital as a grown woman, and she could have said, listen, I can't do this, I need to go to the hospital. I believe that Lisa was probably telling her mom that she wasn't feeling well, but I think that had her mom said, no, let's go for drinks at Chateau Marmont, Lisa, as a grown woman, could have said, you know, Mom, I don't feel good, no. So we don't know the communication between mom and daughter.
Okay, we don't, but I'll tell you what, I don't for a second think Lisa thought she was going to die. I don't think for a second Lisa thought she was going to have a heart attack. No chance. So, yes, come on, you can have serious stomach pain, which is what she obviously had, unbearable stomach pain, yeah? But it doesn't mean you think you're going to die. Come on, no one expected her to die. I really think that.
Honestly.
Within just over 24 hours, Lisa suffered cardiac arrest on Thursday, January 12th, and she was rushed to West Hills Hospital. Priscilla, who knew that Lisa was in the process of taking steps to remove her as the sole trustee of Lisa's irrevocable life insurance trust, saw an opportunity to regain control.
So Jamie says he thinks all the money went to Scientology. Obviously, yes, but not all of it. Remember, they had this crazy investment in American Idol with Barry Siegel and, you know, a massive amount of money was invested into American Idol. A lot of it went there.
Now, this is salacious. Whether it's salacious talk or the action is true. Either which way, if Priscilla did this, it's absolutely salacious. Them talking about it and her not doing it is them being salacious by accusing her of such a thing.
Priscilla rushed to West Hills Hospital, and despite Lisa's clear directive to prolong her life, remember I talked about that before, get this, quote, Priscilla pulled the plug within hours of Lisa being admitted.
So this is the big massive thing that no one can get their head round. Why didn't they wait for Riley to get there? Now, I had this conversation with Nicola this morning. Why didn't they wait? I was saying to Nicola, are you sure that Riley wasn't involved in this decision? Obviously, Priscilla has admitted she pulled the plug. I know that it's not pulled the plug, it's DNR, yeah? But, so Priscilla has admitted it, okay? She even has said it in interviews, yeah? But was Riley involved? I know that we've been told the messaging that was going back and forth, yeah, from Riley. Was it 100% Priscilla's decision to do the unplug? You know, we're going to call it unplugging just for the sake of, it's much simpler for me to put it that way. Was it 100% Priscilla's decision to do that? Or was Riley involved in that decision? This is what I was saying to Nicola this morning. Frederick, you do a lot of research concerning Riley, obviously what's happened, what's gone on with the Do Not Resuscitate, with the Bridget Cruz lawsuit. Because don't forget, the Bridget Cruz lawsuit alleges that Priscilla intentionally got the machine unplugged so she could be Queen of Greystones, okay? But was Riley in any way involved in that decision? Because if not, why didn't Priscilla wait for Riley to get there to say goodbye? Because they reckon within 7 hours or something? Maximum 12 hours. The machine was unplugged. So why didn't Priscilla just wait for her daughter to come and say goodbye? I don't get it. Please put it in the comments. Why didn't Priscilla wait for Riley to come and say goodbye to her mother? What, her heart was still beating, even if she was brain dead. No, it doesn't make sense. Any other family on the planet would wait for the daughter to come and say goodbye. Any other family. If it was my family, you wait, don't you, before you turn off the machine. Why did Priscilla feel the machine needed to be turned off so soon? Why? Was Riley involved in that process? This is the big question I have.
Now, guys, if that's true, if that's true, that went against Lisa's wishes.
Yeah. Remember, we know Lisa wanted her life extended if possible at all costs. She wanted, if it was possible to be resuscitated, do it. She signed it twice. We've seen the evidence. It's in the exhibit in Bridget Cruz's lawsuit.
And before her granddaughter, Riley, was able to get to the hospital.
Now, I believe Riley lived in London, and she got on that plane as soon as she could get on that plane in hopes to see her mom, especially before her mom would have passed on. So
Debbie just said, Louis, she should have waited. But what if Riley told her not to? This is the bit I'm trying to understand. Did Riley send a message that we don't know about? Is that possible?
the fact that Lisa Marie wanted to hang on to every bit of life, if that's true, and she was.
Well, it is true because she signed it. We've got proof of it in the exhibit on Bridget Cruz's lawsuit.
Isn't an organ donor, then Priscilla is 1,000% wrong. If they had to donate organs and Lisa was an organ donor, that's a different story. But if somebody's hanging on to life, it doesn't really seem like they would be an organ donor, but I don't know. But your granddaughter could only say goodbye one time.
This is a big deal. Your granddaughter can only say goodbye one time. Come on, people all around the world, even if you're not an Elvis fan, will agree that they should have waited till Riley got there. Unless Riley told them turn it off as well. Unless it was a joint decision. This is what we're trying to find out.
To her mom. And you took that away from her, Priscilla. That is something you're going to have to live with forever.
So there we are. There's a correction here. Frederick has said, no, she was in Vancouver making a film Under the Bridge. So she was not in London. So Debbie says, but Riley would have had to sign something. Well, we don't know that, do we? We don't know that, but I understand that point. Yeah, Sandra, the only one that can answer the question is Riley. So Linda, of course, Priscilla should have waited, but we do not know what communications may have happened. Lots of things we do not know. Yeah, that's true. Yes, I've been in a position at doctors to let me go and get family to say goodbye. Doctors left the machine on. Yeah. So that everyone could say goodbye. This is the bit that doesn't make sense.
If that's what you did.
Demanding that Cruz issue a statement to the media so she could control the narrative.
I remember this statement. I was absolutely floored. Absolutely floored. Lisa was 5 years younger than me. So I did not really expect her to leave the earth so quickly.
None of us did. None of us did. So there's a couple more comments here. Riley agreed about shutting down the machine. You know, Priscilla can say that. We don't know that. She hasn't said that yet. Priscilla hasn't been asked that question, has she? So the person that hasn't spoke out yet is Riley. So when we see these Riley putting likes on the news video of Priscilla when she was interviewed yesterday, obviously there's 3 big interviews that we're going to review, guys. I'm going to go through them again, yeah? We want to know the truth. We want to know, was Riley part of that decision?
Especially being that we watched her at the award show less than 24 hours before she passed.
Priscilla demanded that a statement be released immediately, stating, "It is with a heavy heart that I must share the devastating news that my beautiful daughter, Lisa Marie, has left us." And then they claim that the following week, Priscilla allegedly said, "I'm the queen, I'm in charge of Graceland." Cruz and Fialco were heartbroken by the unsettling behavior.
This is Bridget Cruz's words. Now remember, I keep reminding you guys, Bridget phones me. We have long discussions. She's clearly said she can prove everything in the lawsuit. Obviously, lawsuits are all about money. Of course, there's a lot of emotion involved with lawsuits. It's a very personal thing. You don't sleep when you're in lawsuits. Now, Bridget Cruz has ramped it up, hasn't she? She's now suing Navarone as well. Navarone. Now, that is going to have a reaction from Priscilla, because Priscilla absolutely worships Navarone. So these are serious lawsuits now. There's at least 3, isn't there? Yeah. We've heard about the 50 million upgrade, amended version. This is serious stuff, guys. Bridget has got a lot to prove, but it's, you know, this isn't a criminal case. So I've always said it. They're going to fire bombs at each other, and they're going to push for settlement. Now, Priscilla does mention the lawsuit. She does say, oh, you know, things seem to be going okay with the lawsuit with Bridget. So the last interview that we watched, let me just thank this lady before we move on, guys. So everybody has a story to tell. Thank you so much. Brilliant. Please subscribe to her.
So, and if that's what happened, and Priscilla Presley had.
So if you want to subscribe to this lady, everybody has a story to tell. I like the way she tells the story, but obviously we've got the law and crime video that's attached to it, which makes it really interesting. Okay. So if you want to subscribe, guys, thank you very much to this lady. Now, I just want to try one more thing. Before we go, I want to play. Here we go. I want to play a bit of this, the 6.5 minute one.
That's now good morning.
Let me pause it.
Good morning.
I want to play this. My wife's going to turn up, so I'm not sure if I can play all of it. I want to play it because this is shocking to me. This is shocking. Right, here goes, guys. And then I'm going to have to go, yeah? So here goes.
To you. You've written a memoir about life with Elvis. This is really about life after Elvis. Why was this a story you wanted to tell?
Oh my gosh. I think, you know, living the life with Elvis Presley, and of course, you know, I was his wife, and I, you know, learned a lot from him about life, about business, about caring, and he was very, very special in every way. Even.
But I left him and shagged his mate.
Today, he still has the amount of fans almost as when he was alive.
I'm going to say, guys, the fans don't know that she was unfaithful. They have no idea.
And that's really says a lot.
Yeah, and yet when you left.
Actually, when I say fans, I mean non-fans. The general public around the world do not know that Priscilla was unfaithful. They even think that they were still married when Elvis died.
Tim, you had a big, full life full of love and losses. In this book, this is really the first time that you talk about the passing of Lisa Marie in depth. And you take us inside that hospital room where you had to make that decision to let her go, to take her off life support. What were those moments like, and why did you feel like you wanted to share those?
Oh my gosh. I'm sharing it because it's the first time I've ever lost, you know, a child. I have 2, obviously, but
Now, I find this very awkward, all of this.
don't wish that on anyone. I just, the loss was, I knew she was not well. We had seen each other just 2 days before. She seemed fine. We talked. We, you know, we were actually going to see the movie on Elvis, and we were a little nervous about how that was going to turn out.
Don't forget, the fact that she was allegedly abused by Priscilla's boyfriend, Michael Edwards, it's never mentioned. Never mentioned. Where's the justice for poor Lisa Marie?
And then we walked in. She said to me after we came out of the theater, "You want to go and have a drink, you know?" And I said, "Sure, let's do it." And then about 2 minutes later, she said, "Mom, I don't think I can do it. I said, what's the matter? And she said, my stomach really, really hurts. I've been having a hard time with it. And I go, okay, you know, whatever you need to do. And then she goes, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I said, okay. The next day, you know, I waited. I thought she was going to give me a call. And then I get a call from that Lisa, you know, was in the hospital as we knew it, and that she passed. And to this day, I can't get over it. It was, you know, especially having a great night before, and then the next day taken away.
She didn't have a great night. She was in a lot of bloody pain. Guys, I don't want to sound cold and heartless, but come on. Where are the tears? Where is the, oh my God, I lost my daughter 2 years ago? None of this feels right. There's a real disconnection. There's a disconnection here concerning grieving for her daughter. Now, look, guys, I don't like sounding heartless. I know people grieve privately, and I don't even like to discuss this topic, but come on, guys, something's not right.
You write about the ups and downs you had over her tumultuous life at some times.
Look, now she's already giggling. She's just told us the heartbreaking thing about losing her daughter. And now she's giggling away within seconds. If you brought up the loss of one of my family now, here on this program now, yeah, I'd burst out crying, guys. I'd be crying for half an hour. Come on.
Yes.
Had you found peace, you and Lisa?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. She grew up.
Yeah.
There's no way they found peace. She was threatening to sue her own mother. Lisa was threatening to sue her own mother just before she died.
Yeah.
They weren't talking to each other. They didn't want to sit together at the Golden Globes.
You know, but yes, we did. We did. We were really, really close. And that helps me that, you know, she was a little spitfire. She made up her own mind, make changes. You know, we were all ready to go out and do something, and she changed her mind. We're going to do something else. So she was very unpredictable.
After her passing, there was a moment of dispute with her daughter, Riley Keough, the actress.
So she passes over this very quickly. There was a moment of dispute. Come on. She went against her daughter's wishes to give her inheritance to her children. This wasn't a moment of dispute. This was bloody serious. Within 24 hours of Lisa dying, her daughter, she's trying to keep control of Gracelands. Innit? She's trying to undo the amendment to the trust. She's trying to... She basically said that fraud had taken place, saying that it wasn't a legal amendment. She hadn't been notified. The autographs were wrong. It's just crazy, guys. We've proved Priscilla knew that Lisa wanted her off the trust. We've proved it.
That got settled. Your relationship now with Riley, your granddaughter, and her kids, and you've got a boatload of grandkids and great-grandkids
well,
now.
Not a boatload, thank God. No, Riley and I are very, very close. In fact, we just spent the time together the day before yesterday. And
you know, she'll try and paint a picture that her and Riley are getting on fine. No, they're not. I'm sure they're very on and off, you know, but come on. The email proves that things weren't all hunky-dory, that Riley was the peacemaker. You know, I'm sure that sometimes they get on, they're family, but come on.
She's amazing. I mean, she truly is. I love her to death. She's, you know, she's her own person, did her own thing at a very...
She bloody is. I just wish Riley would speak up. I'm concerned about Riley. I will always support Riley, but I'm concerned. She does seem to be showing support for Priscilla, which is, for me as an Elvis fan, is uncomfortable.
A young age and is thriving.
You still have a legal issue with your former business partners, and they've made some pretty damning allegations in their papers.
So this woman has the courage to bring up the lawsuit with Bridget Cruz, these massive, horrible lawsuits alleging some pretty despicable, disgusting things that may have gone on between Priscilla and Lisa. Yeah. So at least this woman tries to address it, but I think Priscilla just tries to play it down.
Papers that you and your lawyer have denied. Is there anything
Yes,
you want to say
absolutely.
about those
Absolutely.
claims?
Yeah. Don't believe what you read.
Yeah.
Look, don't believe what you read. Obviously, everything that Bridget has said is to be proven. It's just allegations. Bridget has told me after long conversations that she can prove everything in the lawsuit. I can only repeat what she said to me.
Yes, it's going well. I mean, I can't complain. I have good people.
So when she says she's going well, I know that there was a jurisdiction thing that has been resolved, but come on, guys, this is in very early stages of lawsuit. There's a lot more to come, guys, and it's more than one lawsuit now. You know, even Navarone is being sued separately by Bridget and her partner Kevin Fialco. Yeah, obviously GWS Auctions is their main source of income, isn't it? Yeah. So guys, all of it, you know, they try and brush over it quickly, but this is very, very, very serious. I have no idea where Priscilla is getting her money from to pay for these legal fees. The fact that she brought up Scientology yesterday tells me there's a small chance that they're paying for it, because otherwise, why bring it up? I think that the question about Scientology was intentionally brought up so that she could praise Scientology. She says, oh yeah, you know, Scientology was pretty good, but Lisa decided to leave, you know. Get it? Why was it even brought up? Very unusual. I have never heard Priscilla ever bring up Scientology, ever. I've heard Lisa bring it up. I have never heard Priscilla bring it up, ever. Very unusual. Very unusual. It tells me they're helping with the legal fees. Just to guess, everything I say on this show is for entertainment purposes, just opinion sharing, discussion, YouTube channel. Nothing I say is fact. Okay, guys?
But yeah, it's the papers that, you know, come out and make it worse and make it really, you know, like we're having.
So Frederick just said she's got money for doing the book. Yeah, but not much, Frederick. Come on. Seriously. She wouldn't have made an absolute fortune from doing that book. It would have been hundreds of thousands. Yeah. There's no way that it would be covering the costs of the legal fees of this lawsuit. No way. No way. This lawsuit's going to cost millions, and it's more than one lawsuit now. So, nah, the book ain't going to cut it with me.
An issue for sure, but it's getting resolved.
Let's talk about the book. You said that you never regretted your decision to leave Elvis, but that you still mourn it, that you'll never stop mourning it.
No.
What do you mean by that?
So I do agree with what Jamie has said, that, you know, the Navarone lawsuit is a massive smack in the face for Priscilla. And again, more legal fees, much more legal fees. Priscilla will want to defend the Navarone lawsuit. He can't afford it. He ain't going to pay for it. So she will have to fight this on behalf of Navarone. You know, she's there for Navarone, isn't she? Yeah. To me, he's clearly the favourite. Always has been. Yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is that she doesn't have the money for all of these lawsuits, guys. I honestly think that everything is about settlement now. Honestly, I think Bridget Cruz is keeping the pressure full on, adding more pressure with the hope that eventually Priscilla will settle. Come on, ultimately, it's always about money. Ultimately, it will be about a compromise, a settlement. I think there's a good chance that all of this will be settled before it goes to trial or judgment, anything like that. They are just scaring each other with stories, aren't they? So Bridget is coming up with these very, very detailed, interesting things that she's included in the lawsuit, which could all get thrown out, yeah? Because really, most of the things Bridget brings up has nothing to do with the contracts that were signed, yeah? Remember, really, Priscilla just changed her mind on the contracts, yeah? So all of the other fogginess, the smoke, I think is just a way to force a settlement. Just an opinion, guys, just an opinion.
Our life was very different, you know, very, very different. And when he was in Vegas, you know, that he was really starting his career back again, getting into Vegas. And it was when we had a home in Palm Springs, a second home.
So here we go. I don't like this. This is a low blow. This is a low blow, yeah? They're both were unfaithful. They were both unfaithful. She never admits she's unfaithful. She never says sorry. She never admits wrongdoing, ever. Everything is always Elvis's fault, and she is always the victim.
And I would go there to check it out when he was in Vegas to see how it's doing, if it's clean, if the maids have cleaned everything before he comes home. And I decided.
So let's listen to Priscilla trash Elvis.
When I went by the mailbox, I saw this mail in it. So, you know, I went in, got the mail as usual, started looking.
Remember, a lot of this was fan mail, guys. I'm not going to whitewash Elvis. He was no angel. He was naughty. They were both naughty. They were both unfaithful. They should never have got married. Both of them were not ready for marriage.
To the mail, and then they're all girls. And then I start in the car. I had a person driving, and I'm reading the mail, and the things that I was reading, I really disapproved of and didn't like. They would go and meet Elvis at the house on weekends when he went, and it was another life. Now he would come home, great and wonderful. He was still a good husband, but there was just too many of us.
Do you know what? Yes, I accept that Elvis could be like that. Yeah, could be unfaithful. All right, but remember, she was doing it as well. They were both doing it, guys. They were unhappy. The marriage was a joke. They were both up to no good. But she sits on national TV to millions of people and blames everything on Elvis and plays the victim. She plays the victim. Poor me, look what I went through. When she was shagging her ass off with at least 2 men. Come on, guys. Everything is always Elvis's fault. Why? When she was just as bad as Elvis.
Yeah.
And remember this, maybe Elvis was being unfaithful because he caught her being unfaithful. She was having sex with someone months after the baby was born, Lisa Marie, in 1968, less than a year after the wedding. You get it? If you catch your wife after a year being unfaithful with a dance instructor, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then she does it all again 18 months later. So maybe that's the reason Elvis would go on to have affairs. Also, you think about it, guys. Through the marriage, I've heard through the marriage that Elvis was faithful. Yeah, the actual marriage. May the 1st, 1967. That Elvis was faithful. That Priscilla was the first one to be unfaithful after the marriage. Before the marriage, that's different. We know that Elvis in 61, 2, 3, 4, 5 lived as a single man. You know, I won't whitewash Elvis. In the early 60s, Elvis lived as a single man. Even towards Anita Wood, he still carried on living like a single man. Yeah? Fair enough. But once they get engaged and they have a marriage and she gets pregnant, Elvis tries to settle down. But as soon as he finds out about the dance instructor, it all goes wrong again. Yeah? This other feeble excuse that Elvis won't sleep with a woman that's had a baby, it's bullshit. It may be true when he was a teenager or a 20-year-old man, but it was not true about the older Elvis, because we've proved this because Susan Henning, who he met from Love a Little, Live a Little, and from the 68 Comeback Special, had had a baby and he was having an affair with her. So this bullshit that Elvis wouldn't sleep with a woman if she'd had a baby, it's just bullshit. It's been concocted by Priscilla. It's another way of trashing Elvis. It isn't true.
That's hard for a young bride to be in that position.
Yeah.
Well, before I let you go, you write in the book about an anecdote where Elvis makes a joke at some point. This is after your divorce about, well, maybe you'll get back together again when you're old. He says, I'll be old and have a...
What a load of bullshit. I think she's put that in the book, that Elvis had this conversation that one day we may get back together and he'll have a beard. Bullshit. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think it's in her new book, Softly As I Leave You. I don't trust the new book, Softly As I Leave You. I think it's a book of lies, just like this one. A fake fairy tale. To make money, to try and portray herself as a poor victim. Oh, look what I went through. Oh, by the way, I will never apologize for anything I've done wrong, ever. I will never admit I have ever done anything wrong, ever. I want to add, guys, this isn't a Priscilla hate channel. I don't hate Priscilla, but I will expose her wrongdoing. I will expose her wrongdoing. And the way she has treated her daughter and Elvis is disgusting. The way she has treated her own grandkids is disgusting.
Beard, or do you think if he had lived, you might have reconciled one day?
Well, we were close, as you know. We talked to each other on the phone a lot.
Nah, I do agree that there was lots of phone calls. I do agree that they had times when they spoke on the phone. I agree with that. But come on, guys, a lot of the time they were arguing. They were arguing about money and Lisa, and we know this because of the way that the divorce settlements were happening. What someone said to me today, it was like there was 3 divorces, because you get the initial divorce, I think was after Elvis had calmed down after finding out about Mike Stone. There was some kind of a friendship on behalf of Lisa, you know, for the public. Yeah, Elvis wanted to look as a fair person, even admitting faults in the marriage to his audience on tour. Yeah, fair enough. Elvis realized he'd been unfaithful. He'd been away too much. Elvis admits that. But the second divorce settlement, no, that was cruel. And I actually think that when the debt was placed on Graceland's, the lien, the deed of trust created to put this debt on Graceland's, that was a 3rd divorce settlement. Remember, in April 1977, Priscilla was still demanding more money. So the second divorce settlement went on for years. So when she tries to say, oh yeah, me and Elvis got on well, me and Elvis were happy. No, in April 1977, months before Elvis died, you must have known he was sick. You only had to take one look at Elvis in 1977 to see he was very unwell. Yeah? She's there demanding millions of dollars, even placing a debt on Graceland's. Elvis couldn't afford to pay her, so he had to pay her in installments. Elvis still owed money to Priscilla when he died. And I feel that she used that debt on Graceland's as leverage to get Vernon to change his mind when he altered the will. Honestly. And obviously the fact that she was Lisa's mother. I'm telling you now, guys, Elvis would turn in his grave if he knew the power Priscilla got after Vernon allowed her to be co-trustee. Unbelievable. Elvis would be completely shocked that Priscilla then goes on to have over 40 years of power at Graceland's, and the damage that she did to poor Lisa Marie is immeasurable, and she's now moving on to do some damage with Riley and the twins because she's taking money directly out of the pocket of Riley, Finley and Harper. Unbelievable. The whole thing is shocking. The whole thing is shocking. And I still think that the book, Softly as I Leave You, is doing more damage. More damage.
And, you know, those are hopes and dreams. And
all right, I think my wife said, gotta go, guys.
it would have been great if
Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me. Check you out, a very serious live stream. Love you all, guys. I'll let it play out. See you later, alligator.
it happened.
Still the love of your life?
Still the love of my life, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my God, still the love of my life. What planet is she on? Say hi to Marco Garibaldi Garcia.
Priscilla, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So nice
again.
to see you. And once again, the book is out today. It's called Softly as I Leave You. And I know you're coming back in our 4th hour to talk with Jenna and Chanel. So we'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you.
If you'd like to get a copy, you can go to today.com/books.
Hey, thanks.
Guys, seriously, and we're going to start to find out more details about the book, Softly as I Leave You. There'll be other interviews as well around the world, because I guarantee you Priscilla is going to go around the world doing these interviews, these book promotion interviews, all about boosting the sale of the book, making more money. The whole thing is shocking, but see you later, guys. Love you all. You're the best. I'll try and get back on later, or at least try and make a video. I've got to go and make spaghetti for my wife. Yes, spaghetti, not lasagna. Priscilla forgot that it was lasagna and said it was spaghetti. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to make some spaghetti, guys.